when you are out there interviewing people and asking them to help you, please ask the polite questions and ask the impolite questions. Do you want to know why most real estate agents make $55,000 a year around here? Not here, outside here. Because they never bothered to ask the broker, hey, how much money do your agents make? Hey, how much money can I make? Hey, how much money do you make? Why wouldn't you ask somebody that? You want them to mentor you and show you and help you, and you got to guess how much money they're making? What if you make more money than they do? Then are you really talking to the right mentor? Probably not. Don't be afraid to ask the questions, and don't be afraid to ask the seemingly impolite questions. Are you with me on that? Well, Sherman, I could never do that. Okay, fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Is that working out okay for you? No? Why you guys putting your heads down? Then do me a favor. As radical as some of the things that I may be saying over the next 30 minutes are, try them. Just try them. But don't be out there in the marketplace making assumptions. You know what I mean by assumptions? Y'all know what happens when you assume? I saw this on TV, so it's okay to do this. It's okay to do this, Ma. You know what happens when you assume? You'll make an ass out of you and me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Ask questions. Even if the question may seem impolite. Nobody dragged you out of bed to be here this morning, right? And other than the little bribe I gave you for a free book, nobody bribed you to be here, right? You're here of your own free will because you want what? Before the knowledge, before the money, you want what? Before the education, you want what? Before the freedom, you want what? All those things will come, but the first thing you got to get is the truth. No, the truth. If you guys walked out of here and read some article online that said Sherman's a total bald-faced liar, and you got a hold of my tax returns and it said I made $43,000 last year, wouldn't you kind of feel duped? Who the hell is this guy teaching me how to make $200,000 and he's only made $43,000 last year and everything he says is a lie? Y'all with me? So the first thing you should be asking for is the truth. If this is true, prove it. Show me. Demonstrate to me. Because this is my time. And I'm not going to have my time or my money wasted. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Why do most people get deceived? Because they refuse to ask the questions. Because that would be impolite. Okay, give the guru your money. Give him your money. He's going to take it anyway. And when do you get around to asking questions? You sitting there, anybody here ever been to one of them out-of-town meetings? Been to one of the hotel meetings? And when do you start asking all the questions? After your money's gone, you're like, I wonder if they really know what they're talking about. I wonder if this will really work, right? Why didn't you ask that question up front? This stuff does work, but you need people who actually know how to make it work to teach it to you. Ask the questions. Be impolite. Now, when I sent out that email, somebody said, well, Sherman, how much money do you need? I said, well, first off, that's the wrong question, right? But me, I've sat down, I've done my analysis, I've got my number. Basically, I need to generate about $20,000 a month. About $240,000 a year. My lifestyle being what it is, I need to generate about $240,000 a month. I mean, $20,000 a month, $240,000 a year. Some people need more, some people need less. Y'all with me on that? Do you know what your number is? Good. If you don't, we're going to talk a little bit about that at the Foreclosure Summit. Knowing your number, being able to accurately calculate the number, but you need to know what your number is. So assuming my number is $20,000 a month or $240,000 a year, if I can generate $240,000 a year, guess what? I'm good. So what would be better than generating $240,000 a year for me? Generating $240,000 a year where I don't have to get out of bed. Generating $240,000 where I can do it from the beach. Generating $240,000 from the back of a cruise ship. Y'all with me? But the first step in the process is knowing what your number is. So the question is, how much do you need? The way I would answer it is, I need about $20,000 a month. Everybody else has to answer it differently. Now, here's what the Washington Post says. This is straight out of the Washington Post. Somebody did a study. I don't know who did the study, but I suspect it was George Mason University because they're usually the ones that do these kind of studies. But somebody named Perry Stein wrote, you need to make $108,092 a year to live what? Comfortably. Said another way, if you're not making at least $108,000 a year and you're living in the Washington, D.C. area, guess what? You're failing. Well, Sherman, you can't say that because I got 3 degrees. I got 3 degrees too. And when I was only making $60,000 a year, guess what? I was failing. Because when they came and repoed my car at 4:30 in the morning, they didn't care I had a Wharton MBA. You know what they cared about? You ain't made your payments for 3 months. We're taking the car back. When I went to the Safeway and had all them groceries. And then sat there at the machine. Well, try this one, try this one, try this one. And had to put half the stuff back. She didn't care that I graduated from Towson University. She said, sir, I need money. Cash, credit, we don't care what it is, but you got to pay for this stuff. Furman said something earlier. Money is not everything in life. Money is not everything in life. But when you are standing at the Safeway and you've gone through your 4th debit card / credit card, and it's still going, you kind of wish you had a little bit of money. You with me? I say it this way. To survive in the greater Washington, D.C. region, you need $200,000 a year. Here's why. You need $100,000 just to live off of. You need about $8,000 a month just to live. Do you understand that if you make $10,000 a month, the government's going to take 20 to 30% of that right off the top? That leaves you about $7,500. Now, the mortgage is due. The electric bill is due. The student loan payment is due. The car payment is due. Heaven forbid if anybody in the family gets sick. Heaven forbid if your mom or dad gets sick. Heaven forbid if one of your kids gets sick. Before you know it, you're left with $2.58. If that. Can I get an amen from anybody in here? Thank you. So the first order of business is we need to get to 100,000. We don't need to get to 100,000 because Sherman says so. We need to get to 100,000 because that's what you need just to survive. That is not thriving, people. That's surviving. But at least you take the water line from here and you push it down to about here. Because we can tread water for a little bit of time if we get the water line down here. But you know what happens if the water line's up here? You can't hold your breath that long. And that's what some of you guys are trying to do. If you're not making $100,000 a year minimum, we need to see you here every single Tuesday night. Every single Friday night. Because that's what we teach around here. And put off all these illusions of, I'm going to do an apartment building and self-storage, and I'm going to own a shopping center. One day I'm going to own the Empire State Building. That's all good. But can you keep the phone on this month? Can you keep the lights on this month? Can you put enough gas in the car? Because some of y'all are like, well, I can't go to the Dealmaker Workshop because there ain't no gas in the car. The first order of business is to get to 100,000. Y'all with me on that? And once you get to the 100, The second order of business is get to 2. Why? Because everybody in here, when I asked you earlier, said you want to be a successful real estate investor. Is that true? How many people here want to be successful real estate investors? Okay, let me tell you something that the out-of-town gurus will not tell you. You need money to invest in real estate.